Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you guys again for your support. I'm very grateful for all of you. I'm very grateful for this community. I know you guys say that you need to hear my voice. You like to hear my words, but I really appreciate that. But I also like to hear your words, and I just like to feel the community that we're building here. I'm so appreciative for it because doing all this can be very lonely. I'm not saying I'm lonely, but it's nice to be able to this thing is smoking, to share in on the words. How are you feeling? I know yesterday was a terrible shock to a lot of you, and you're very upset, and I hope you're able to move through, let your emotions move through you. And I know that'll take time as well. I still feel calm. I feel good, actually. I feel grounded. I feel even higher, which is interesting. I know there's a lot of fear for people, and I understand why. I get it. And I know a lot of people are afraid. I don't feel fear. I don't feel afraid. I was asking myself yesterday, I was like, let's see how I feel in the morning. I still feel the same. Like I said, I am pragmatic. Even though I feel emotions very deeply, even though I'm very empathetic as well, and I also feel other people's emotions, I know myself very well. I know when I'm in shock. I know when I'm rarely in denial. It's just not a part of my personality of being in denial of something. I have a lot of self-awareness because of my experiences, because of the patterns that I've seen in my experiences. I'm very self-aware. I do loads of self-reflection. And that's part of my practice as a therapist, to help my clients learn about themselves and see connections and patterns and things like that. I sometimes my clients, I use confrontation in my part of my practice. I'm very nurturing, and I'm able to flow between, validation and nurturance, and also, okay, now it's time to do work. Now it's time to accept things, and it's time to, sometimes I'll just say it's time to, be blunt, to use confrontation, to help clients move out of whatever they're stuck in. So I say all that to say I'm very aware of, being in denial of something, or not accepting something. That's just not in my nature to deny or I always know when something is final. I always know when there's nothing to be done. I always know when to use acceptance of, like, okay, this is the situation and I can't change it, so I have to find a solution. I can't let this overrun me, those sort of circumstances. In therapy, it's called radical acceptance. I'm not a DBT therapist, but I do use some of his practices, okay? But I was just talking to the ones who know what I'm talking about. But, I'm saying all this to say, sometimes I know that's what some people are thinking, well, you know, time to pack it up and just accept this. I accept the circumstances, but I know it's not over. You know, there's more to the story of what we're going through. And I was watching Healing Truth Tarot last night. Shelly, she was talking and she was saying, I love the way she speaks because she's a straight shooter. I enjoy that about people who just speaks, you know, but she speaks underneath the straight shooting. It's a nurturing, caring that I feel in her energy. And I hold that when I'm in therapy with clients, you know, when I am using confrontation or making them confront, or when I am, you know, I do speak plainly when there's a need to. And I like that about her. But she cares. It's not to be mean, because there's lessons in her words. But as she was talking about readers and under the umbrella of being psychic, you know, being psychic. But I'm going to use the term readers, okay? When she was talking about all of this and, you know, people saying, well, we're wrong or that sort of thing. We're not. None of us are. Okay. Even you guys who feel like you're just beginning to learn about your spirit guides, or you're just beginning to touch on your spiritual journey. Those of you who feel you have gifts, those of you who haven't really thought about it, but in your gut, you're like, something isn't right here. You're right. We're all correct. We're all correct. And so as she was talking, I was like, she was just sort of affirming what I'm also feeling inside. And it made me think of like what my guides have been telling me about expansion and expanding. And every time something happens with this situation, meaning these big events that occurred, the certification and leading up to this final thing, this event yesterday, every time it passed, it was like a relief to me. I felt in my spirit, like, okay, we're over this one hump. You know, people are anticipating something happen, but nothing really, to the naked eye, on the surface, nothing appeared to change. And every time it happened, I would feel this feeling of like, whew, okay, that's the next thing, for some strange reason. And I commented to Shelly, it seems like every time an event happens, as we are progressing, you know, readers, meaning psychics, as we're progressing through this situation and an event happens, it's like we go back to the things we saw, to the cards we pulled, the messages our guides gave us, and how we interpret it. And then when the event happens, we're like, oh, yeah. And it's like each moment that happens helps us reevaluate what we are hearing, what cards we're pulling, and it helps us expand our minds and how we are interpreting the situation. And it's helping us understand even more what's going on. We still can't see, they won't show us, but it's like we're mastering that Eight of Pentacles energy, mastering how we are interpreting, how we're getting the messages, how we are sharing the messages. Our understanding is expanding even more. Like we're getting higher. And I feel like through our words, what we're sharing, you guys are getting higher, if you're letting yourself. Okay, so it's like we are even starting to go so high. We are looking at the situation. It's like our guides gave us this from my experience. It was like I was given this thing, and being able to channel even better. Now I'm like, I know what I'm doing completely with the channeled messages. And it feels like I'm on another level. And my guides at one point told me, there's an increase in your gifts. They told me that. You could see more. They said that to me. It's in my notes. And it's like now we are looking at the situation and we are reading this, and some of, as we go through the weeks, we're like, man, what is this? Now I'm feeling that we are even looking beyond space and time and how we are looking at this. Some of us may see something that hasn't occurred yet, or even outside of time, as a possibility. I may be speaking crazy. I hope you are following me. But what I'm saying is that we are expanding in how we're doing this work. We are mastering this. We are understanding even more now what is happening. That we need to see, that I was told you need to see. We need to see. My cards that I pulled in the last reading for the election I did, that I pulled for myself as an extension of the collective, it was about my intuition. It's about faith. It's about your intuition, what you see. I didn't see despair in those cards. I didn't see fear. And it was true. It's only Tuesday. I'm still not afraid. So I say all this to say we have to trust ourselves. Okay. So moving on from that. I said a lot. Okay, I've only been talking for 12 minutes. That's a record for me. So today I did channel messages. There's a shift, guys. Like, oh man, it's so interesting, this shift. I did channel messages. I did channel messages for Joe Biden, for Kamala, Mark Rutte, RUTTE, Jack Smith. My guides told me, I'll tell you why I did Jack Smith, and Elon Musk. And I didn't do Donald Trump. I was immediately told, don't do him. His energy is fading. They keep telling me. And so I said, okay. I asked, am I saying don't do? Because I was like, I'm not going to do him. He doesn't seem important. And then I stopped and I asked myself, is this just because I don't want to see anything or hear anything? And I heard no. He's not important. I said, okay. I said, okay. And so I then I asked my rods, should I? And it was no, don't read on him. It's the same, again, I'm getting the same sort of messages. I asked, is he the president? It didn't touch. I'll do that again so you guys could see. But I asked about Kamala, same answer. And this situation is so different, like I said, incomprehensible. Because I'm like, well, it'll be difficult to unseat. It'll be my lower, I shouldn't say lower, my pragmatic, logical self. It's like, well, it's difficult to unseat. And then I got the other person there and they said he's not important either. I said, okay. I'm talking about Vance. Also, everything I say here is alleged, guys. Okay. They're like, yeah. He's not important either. And I said, I don't know how that would happen. And there was silence. And what I'm beginning to understand, someone said something I read in the comments about the playbook being thrown away. And I said that earlier when I started this, when people were saying recount, and I said we're beyond a recount. We're beyond that. I saw that first. And I said because it legitimizes him. But the more I explore the situation as I did these videos and these readings, the more I understand that we were beyond that, because it's a unique, serious, dangerous situation. Okay? And we are in the middle of it, America. So we're past process. I've said that a few videos ago. The gloves are off. We're past process at this point. So I keep getting that, you know, I don't know what will happen, but I do keep getting that she'll be president. I don't know. I'm just holding, at this point, I'm sharing the messages. And I do feel that. I feel it because what I saw for America when I pulled the Renaissance, when I saw that, you know, oh, it's this change. I'm not saying it's going to be tra-la-la, and it will not be easy to get there. I've been told that, but we'll be okay at the other end of it. Okay? But we're here now. And so I did Elon Musk for channeling as well, and they told me to, my guides told me to do him. They said he is important. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. But let's, can you see this? I'll pull my camera up. I got my Dare sweatshirt on. Because, you know, I'm a elder millennial. Shout out to y'all. Let's move this over. I don't really need this. This is just a board. This is just something that was fun. I thought, oh, it's interesting, but I don't need it. Because you can't see it anyway. Okay. Alright, this is my new pendulum that I bought, guys, in my shopping excursion. It's obsidian, and I felt drawn to it. It has moved for me, thank goodness. I've been playing with it all morning. Let's see. What am I asking? Okay. Will Donald Trump have a short-term presidency? Hold on, wait. I can't even see what the thing is saying. Okay, guys. Front to back is yes. This is me moving it. And side to side is no. I'm doing this with my left hand, so we'll see what happens. Never used my left before. Okay. All right. Can you guys see? All right. Please go neutral. Stop moving. I'll test it. My name is Rachel. My name is Rachel. Okay. As you can see, my name is not Rachel. Saying no. Please stop. I'm just trying not to move. My name is Kimberly. My name is Kimberly. Okay, saying yes. Okay, please stop. Let me rest my arm because doing this is, my left arm doesn't feel as strong as my right. Okay. I'll just wait. It's a lot of energy here. It's moving around like crazy. Will Donald Trump's presidency be short-lived? Will Donald Trump's presidency be short-lived? Saying yes. I'll move it up a little. I'll ask it in a different way. Will Donald Trump be the president for the next year? Okay, you see that? Saying no. Okay, please stop. All right. Will Kamala Harris be the 47th president? Will Kamala Harris be, is saying yes? Is saying yes. Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what the energy says. I don't know how. I remember a couple of weeks ago, and I looked on that woman. She was an astrologer. I can't remember her name, but I saw it on Rosie's Insight where she said Donald Trump will win and he will be president, but he will suddenly lose and Kamala will take his place. And that's what she predicted before the election. And she was saying she doesn't know how that would happen. And I'm saying the same thing. But when I do the channel messages, your brains might start percolating. Okay. Let's look at the rods. I know you guys were like, move your mic. I will do that. I'll move it over here. I hope you guys could still hear me. Let me see. Okay. Thank you I had no idea what to say to make it go back to center. Back to neutral. That sounds better than threateningly go back. Okay. All right. All right. So, let's just ask the same sort of questions. Donald Trump will be president for the next year. Donald Trump will be president for the next year. Will Donald Trump be president for the next year? And it's saying no. Okay. It's still moving. It's about to hit my neck. Okay, it's saying no. Back to neutral, please. Look, it's going back. That's so crazy. And it's going back easier. All right. Okay. Does Kamala Harris know that Donald Trump's presidency will not last? Does Kamala Harris know Donald Trump's presidency will not last? Yeah, she knows. You see that? Look, cross. She knows. Okay, back to neutral. Back to neutral, please. It's just like, the energy feels very strong. Okay, this one's swinging like crazy. Okay, let's get back into frame. All right, so will Kamala Harris be the 47th president of the United States in 2025? Will Kamala Harris be the 47th president in 2025? So, yeah, I mean, back to neutral, please. Back to neutral. Does Joe Biden know that Donald Trump's presidency will be short-lived? Does Joe Biden know that Donald Trump's presidency will be short-lived? Does Joe Biden know that Donald Trump's presidency will be short-lived? That's a yes. Okay, back to neutral. Back to neutral. Does Kamala Harris know she will be the 47th President of the United States? Does Kamala Harris know she will be the 47th President of the United States? Does Kamala Harris know she will be the 47th President? It's not moving. I'll ask one more time. Does Kamala Harris know she will be the 47th President of the United States? Okay. Interestingly, when I asked this morning, it said yes, but it's not moving now. Okay. I just heard ask the right questions. Okay. Will J.D. Vance be the 47th President of the United States in 2025? Nope. Back to neutral, please. Back to neutral. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Will Donald Trump be the 47th President in March of 2025? Will Donald Trump be the 47th President in March of 2025? Will Donald Trump be the 47th President? And I got a no. We'll see. Back to neutral. Back to neutral. Okay. I think that was it. You hear the bells? I get very tired when I use these rods, I've noticed. I get very tired. Okay. Oops, that's too far. Alright, let's move this. Okay, guys. Okay. All right. So I channeled, after I did the channel messages with the players that they told me to look at, my spirit guides, I channeled with them directly. And I asked them some questions, what messages I can give to my viewers. And first thing I asked was, why was he inaugurated? And they said, they said, everyone had to see to wake up. Complacency is an issue. And I said, could you have woken everyone up in a different way? I asked, no, this is what they said. I didn't ask anything on this one. They said, hold tight, be patient, do not be afraid, because hold on, I can't see. Hold tight, be patient, do not be afraid. We are here. We are watching. That's what they said. Okay. they said all of these people, next they said, I saw like glimpses of Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, images of them, visions, Donald Trump, everyone involved just in this situation. Sorry, I got distracted. He said all of these people were chosen for collective change to happen. Okay. And then I asked about Donald Trump, and they just said Donald Trump is fading. They were quiet for a little bit of time, for a while with silence, and then I heard Donald Trump is fading. I said, what did I ask here? What will it be like for the American collective? Right on, Scooter. They said, I heard darkness and light, confusion and chaos, then clearness. And I saw an image of the sun shining, or the image of the sun coming through clouds, is what I saw. And I wrote that at the bottom. Image of the sun shining through the clouds. Okay, darkness and light, confusion and chaos, then clearness. Okay. I asked, what do we need to do right now? They said, hold tight to your faith. Everything will be okay, so long as you have faith. And God, I heard, I believe in God. Okay. That's who I pray to, when it comes to my faith. And that's who I talk to, my spirit guides, But it doesn't necessarily mean just God. It could mean whatever ties you to your faith is my understanding. Okay. So long as it is goodness. So long as it is good. Okay. So that was the messages from my spirit guides. And I want to talk about what they showed me in the scrying mirror before I get to the other messages really quickly. This is my first experience with I'm just looking for what I was looking at. It's disappeared. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm gonna tell you guys real quick what I saw. On Sunday, when I explained in my Let's Chat video, when I was doing all that channeling and all that, they just drove me to do, from the morning into the near deep evening. You have to meditate and you have to reflect and you have to, they were giving me messages and my ears were ringing like crazy, and I was listening to pure tones, and I picked up the scrying mirror at one point, and I did some research on how to use it, and I wrote a message down on a card and I put it underneath the stand for the mirror. I focused on my question. I did the visualization looking at the mirror, and I was looking at it for time went by. I went into a trance, and my question was about the inauguration. Will it go through or something like that? I can't even remember. But I'm looking, and I visualized the blue flame first, and I saw it, and then I see the image started changing, and all I saw was darkness. And all I saw was darkness. And it kept making me look up at this thing. It was like it was a black, at first I thought it was a flag, but it wasn't a flag. It wasn't. But with the way our minds are, it compared it to a flag, but I know it's not a flag. And my guys told me it wasn't a flag. It was moving like cloth. It was black. It was a black cloth, like a shroud. And I'm looking up at this thing, and it was like wispy. Part of it was thick, and the other part of it was wispy. And I'm looking up at this thing, and I started tearing. But I didn't feel fear or sadness. I'm looking up at this thing. It was like an emptiness. It was like a void. It was like, as I'm processing, my initial process was, I thought of the pirate flag and take no prisoners and not conforming is what I initially thought. And I'm like, oh, okay, but then part of me is like, that doesn't make sense. And then I thought it was the black flag that white nationalists, the Black American flag that white nationalists like to carry around or have on their truck or whatever. And then I was like, no, it wasn't a flag. That wasn't it either. So I sort of left it. Then the event happened yesterday, and I was processing through it again. I'm like, it looked like, I kept hearing the word shroud, and that's what it looked like a wispy thing. And I didn't feel anything when I started tearing. I was just looking. It was just like, keep looking at it. And it was almost like it turned to smoke, black smoke at one point, like a wispy, and I started tearing. I don't know. It felt like a void. Okay. And the question was about his inauguration. And the more I think about it, it's about him. It's about him. Okay. And I'm still processing it. I'm still, it felt like a void. It was very wispy, sort of, and thick in other parts. It could have been smoke, but it wasn't. And our closest thing I feel like is the closest to is a black shroud. And I had a vision a few weeks ago. I just never said anything. I had a dream. Everything I say is alleged, but I had a dream about him, DT. And in my dream, I heard the newscaster say, and I pulled up myself out of my sleep, President Trump's funeral. I heard in that dream weeks and weeks ago. It wasn't weeks and weeks ago. My time is all messed up, but this was right before President Carter passed. And when he passed, that stuck in the back of my mind, hearing that. And I was like, why would they say president? That's the one thing the silly thing I thought. And when President Carter passed, I was like, oh, it was just probably him, because that happens to me a lot. I'll have a dream, that sort of dream about someone. I'll have a dream about someone, but it'll be another person. But does that make sense? So like if I have a dream about a friend that something happened, it won't be that friend. It'll be someone else that in reality, in like our waking real world, that happened to. So I just was like, oh, that's, my mind just sort of replaced the Jimmy Carter with, but then the shroud, this vision. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not wishing death on anyone, but that's just what happened. And I wanted to share. Okay. But when I did it this morning, it was much easier the second time. I didn't have to look as long. Okay. And so I did it in my closet because it was the darkest spot. And so I'm standing there and I'm looking at it, and I was like, I don't know what to ask it. And I asked, what? Eventually I was like, can you tell me about the outcome for America regarding this presidency, this situation? And all I saw was birch trees, a forest, and clear as day, these birch trees lined up, like really beautiful. And so I investigated, and I said, oh yeah, that is exactly what I saw, birch trees. And I'm looking at this image, and I'm like, what does this mean? And then I heard the tree of life in my head, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, but that's not the tree of life. These are birch trees. And I looked up what they mean. I looked up the spiritual meaning of birch trees, and it says rebirth. They symbolize rebirth, renewal, growth, and protection, and purity, new beginnings. Okay. In the Bible, they represent purification and renewal. And I was like, that's so fitting. And I always, when I do this, and it made me think of the tower, and it made me think of, because I always, every now and again, hear the word purify, and it made me think of all these snowstorms we keep having. You know, snow is supposed to be purifying and pure, and and these are the signs that we are being shown, but some of us are just not thinking about it. Even though we're in this seemingly dark spot, it's like a deconstruction, so something new can arrive from it. It's like a burning down of something, And then it made me think of the fires. When I saw the trees, I immediately thought of California, and I hope that hope those of you who were affected by it, I hope you're okay, as much as you can be. But looking at these messages outside of everything, is the sun will be shining, and I just feel like there'll be a newness. People will be looking at each other differently. People will either change or be forced to change. Okay. But that's that. You guys could process that and make your own interpretation of what you think, but that's what birch trees mean. Okay, I've been talking for a long time. Let's get to it. All right. Kamala Harris. Kamala's energy, she's like she has been feeling calm, joyful, happy, ready to work. Okay. First thing I heard, I am here in this space, ready to fight. Second thing I heard was, I asked about Donald Trump. She's just said he does not know what's coming for him, and she was smiling. I heard that everyone was smiling at the inauguration, which is suspicious. I'm here to protect the Constitution, I heard. I said, when I was meditating and thinking about the situation and everything, thinking about Joe, thinking about Kamala, a lot of people are angry at Joe, and I could see why, and he could see why. When I get to him, you'll see. But they did so much. People are upset that he couldn't. But I've been in his energy, and I've seen how hard he had tried to intervene, to stop. I've been in his energy for weeks and weeks now. I'm not saying I personally know the man, We're many layered, but when I touch on that situation and his energy, he cares so much. He didn't abandon us. But when I was thinking about everything, my guides were like, they left some things behind. They left something behind, something big that I'm not allowed to know about. But I asked her, I said, what did you leave? What did you leave behind? And she just said, you'll see, with a smile. You'll see. I asked her how she's feeling. She said, I am joyful and ready. I asked about Joe Biden, and why didn't he intervene? And she said he tried his best, but there was new information. And that's what I heard too, and from new information. And this was the 15th, that day, that new information that shook his faith, that made him question his faith, that made him so angry. And that could be why he probably had to let it go. Now that I'm looking at it from a bigger picture, he probably said, this has to happen. I have to let it go. That back to the drawing board, remember? Where they had to rework, and something they just, I feel like they decided, now that I'm looking, thinking about, I still have those messages. I keep all of them. The back to the drawing board. They had to rework it and refigure this plan they had. Anyway, she said he tried his best, but there was new information. It had to be left this way. Something bigger. Something bigger. Okay. I said, what do we do in the meantime? Oh, I said, what are you doing? What are you doing for the future? She said, and I said, what do we do in the meantime? What are you doing? She said, we wait. I'm waiting. Something big is this the, oh my goodness. So serious. It is so serious. So very serious, guys. Joe Biden. I was just about to say something that I remembered. I can't remember. Maybe it'll come out. And Joe Biden, he feels, he was quiet. He's contemplating. He's self-reflecting. Didn't feel somber or upset. He is in a mindset of, they're still involved here. There's not a going away energy. I feel his energy is still involved. Heavy. It's involved heavy. A lot of you guys are upset with him and the Dems and confused, and he's done so much. And I'm not caping. Listen, I'm just speaking reality. I'm just speaking to what I've experienced in his energy, what I've seen, how much he cares, and how much yes, he's a traditionalist, but all that stuff I said about him looking to Kamala, and it's true. He sees that the world has changed. Okay? He may be a traditionalist, but he's expanded himself and his belief. He sees how the world has changed. But whatever happened on the 15th, whatever information came in, where the back to the drawing board business came in, this had to happen. Okay? But he didn't leave us unprotected. It may feel that way or appear that way, but he didn't. Okay? First thing I heard, well, my ears are doing something weird. First thing I heard, we are on the precipice of change. And I've heard that before. Numerous times from different people in this. He's thinking so much. I could see him looking, gazing out the window, thinking. We'll see. I'll pull for him. We'll see. I'm going to do him and Kamala collectively. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm going to do, too? This way I just remember. I'm going to... That limo ride, I'm going to pull for that because I asked my guides, it was not a pleasant ride for Donald Trump. That limo ride never happened before, and it happened for a particular reason. He said some stuff to him. Okay, and I asked when I channeled his energy, I said, what did you say to Donald Trump in the limo? And he said, I warned him that what he did was dangerous and he will pay the price. And then on the back I heard my guide said, I sat here with this for a little bit, and the energy I felt was he knows what's going to happen to him. He's very angry. He's not like that man. He warned him. He warned him. I saw someone say like Donald Trump looked upset. I didn't watch it. But that if he did, you know, he always looks upset. But on your day you're upset. That's because he said something to him. He said some things to that man. And I asked my rods, did he tell him, I know what you did? He did. He told him that long ago. Actually, when he first went to the White House, Donald Trump, I just never said anything. But he told him, I know what you did. He told him, I'm going to stop you. Okay. I heard from my guides when I sat here with this message and just sort of thinking about feeling on the energy of that moment. I heard it's out of his hands now and in someone else's hands, someone bigger. It's out of Joe Biden's hands. And now he's placed this in someone else's hands. That's what I heard. That's my understanding, okay? And I asked him, what did you leave behind, Joe? What did you leave behind for Trump? Because I kept hearing like booby traps in my head. And things they put in place that he's going to find out about. That's not good for him. And he just said many distractions, and he was smiling. And I said, could you tell me more? And he said, no. Very quiet. They're very tight-lipped. I asked, why didn't you use the PEDS? He said, I could not. He said that would not have changed anything. The cost was too great. I never saw him doing that in the first place. We're beyond amendments. We're invoking things. That's not going to get us anywhere we need. We're beyond process at this point. We're in a different process. Okay? I felt that long ago too. That we, you know, people are like, they should invoke this, that, and the third, and that's not going to change. We need change. And he knows that. That's what I've been saying in his channel. No, we can't do it that way. He knows something needs to change. That's what Kamala told him. Okay. I asked him, I said, do you think his presidency will last? And he said it will not last. He doesn't know. And I could, you know, I couldn't see him getting in. And people were like, and readers saying like, if sensing that is not real, or I know Libby was saying he's going to have a fake inauguration. He did. He had a fake inauguration. He might be, quote unquote, seemingly in, but nothing is true because he cheated. Is the tricky part. That's why we couldn't see him getting in, because it's not true. We have to rework how we are looking at things and expand. It's not true because he cheated. He admitted it. And my guys told me when I said, when will this be revealed? My guys said January 19th. I didn't say anything because I don't want to focus on dates. I didn't say anything to you guys. But that's literally what he did. And I remember when I said he was a snitch. And he snitched on himself. When my guy said he's the snitch. I looked back on all my stuff, all my videos. I said to him, how do you feel about Americans being upset with you? And he said, it's fine. I'll take the brunt. And this reminds me, when I heard him say this, it reminded me of when he said, I'll take responsibility for this in one of his channel messages. I'll take responsibility. Oh man, it's all coming together, huh? Another piece that I see. I said, why didn't you intervene? And he said, now it's different. These messages, I'm able to talk to them. It's so fascinating. He said, I said, why didn't you intervene? He said, I was going to, but new info arrived and I saw that I couldn't. It was upsetting. And that shook him. That he had to let it go. I said, what do you think will happen with the American people? He said, everything will change for the better. And he said it in such a sure, soft-spoken, faith-based of a knowing. Everything will change for the better. It won't be easy. Okay? So that's Joe Biden, guys. They left something behind that they won't tell me. I can't know. I can't know. Mark Rutte. Oh, Mark. It's same thing. Excuse me, it's me again. And he looked. He's exasperated with me because I keep showing up. I could feel his energy, like, ugh, not annoyed or like, you know, mean, not just like, what more do you want from me? And it seems like amusement though, like a jokey sort of, why are you here again? You know, like I'm trying to work. Excuse me. I said, what do you think about Donald Trump being inaugurated? He said it means nothing. I mean, it means things to people, but this is how he feels. And he said it very curtly. It means nothing. He's still not worried. He's just like, meh, whatever. You know what's interesting is that he didn't even, not that he didn't want to talk to me, but he kind of didn't want to talk to me. He just kept giving me images when I asked questions, visions. I said, what is NATO up to? And I saw images of tanks and fighter jets. I just wrote that. I said, okay, I see what we're doing. That's fine. I asked about the blah, 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 because I think it's related to what they left behind, or at least part way. He didn't say anything. It was dead silence. And then he showed me an image of a chessboard. I spelled image wrong. I forgot the G. That happens. I was writing quick. I asked about Elon Musk. Something has shifted the energy where my energy is now. I saw long ago who he was, and I saw that he's a problem. I saw that mentally, allegedly. This is all alleged. I saw in my head, in his energy, in my body, that he mentally is not well, in a dangerous sort of way. Okay. I asked about this made me, because his energy, when I asked about Elon, his energy was very strong in what he said. He said he's a dangerous man. He is an enemy to many countries, is what he said. That made me really pay attention. And I said, is he being investigated? He said, yes, everywhere. Full scale. I heard full scale. Then I saw and heard Jack Smith. I wasn't going to do Jack Smith. I haven't thought about him. But I saw an image of him flash in my mind, and I heard his name and said, okay, I guess I will do. I will. And then I said, do you have anything else to share? He said, I'm working. He said, I'm working. Get out. Goodbye. Get out of here. I said, oh. Jack Smith. Jack Smith is a very serious man, and his energy is very suspicious. He has a suspicious personality. Okay, when I touched on his energy, he sort of looked up. I saw his face look up at had me startled. Like, what are you doing here? Very stressed. I wrote stressed. The first image after he looked up at me, no, I'm lying. When I touched his energy, I saw a vision of him sitting at his desk, or a desk. I don't know where he was. Sitting at a desk with all these papers spread out in front of him. And he had one hand on his head, and he's just looking at whatever's in front of him on the, all these papers. And I wrote, poring over papers at a desk, on a desk, okay? And I felt his stress, very stressed, intensely concentrating on whatever he's looking at. And when I touched his, and I asked him, he looked up at me like, just very startled, like, what are you doing here? And I asked him about the inauguration. He said it needed to happen. I wrote at the bottom. Very suspicious in demeanor, like, but he spoke, gave me something. I said, can you tell me what is in your second report against Donald Trump? And he said, I cannot, but I can say it is damning evidence of treason. That's what my guides told me. I just never said anything of collusion. And I said to myself, my logic mind said, okay, so why isn't he arrested? But they said, I actually asked him, yeah, just look down. I said, why isn't he arrested then? It said it's bigger than him. He said it's bigger than him. What did I ask you? He said, no, I am not. I cannot tell you. I should have wrote it down. I'll remember in a second. Oh, I said, are you, oh, yes, I remember. I said, are you done with Donald Trump? He said, no, I am not. And I said, okay, what are you planning on doing? He said, I cannot tell you. Very short and to the point. I don't know. I've never heard him speak before, but he sounded, I can't get a handle on his voice yet. Is it? No, I cannot. I'm still trying to hear it. No, I cannot. I don't know if his voice is raspy or there's a huskiness to it. I'm not sure. No, I cannot. There's like there's a solidness to his voice. I'll look eventually to see how he sounds. I can't hear it quite, but it's not a forcefulness isn't the right word, but there's like is his voice deep? I'm not sure. It's like a huskiness or a rasp. Is huskiness the right? I don't know. All right. I said, what are your plans for him? He couldn't tell me. And then I said, what are your plans for the future? And this scared me. He said, I'm getting ready for war, he said. And I said, okay. He's very much like, I will not tell you this, but I can tell you this. Okay? I can't tell you this. This is what his energy feels like. Interesting. I said, how will the American people be? He said, the American people will eventually be fine, he said. So that's Jack Smith. Interesting. I'll pull for him, I think. I'm not sure. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. My guys told me he's important. To read him. He's a problem. Allegedly. He is, whoa. First thing I heard was, we will change everything. I'll give you my thoughts, what I felt in his energy as I'm reading these. I asked him about what did he think about Donald Trump and what he said, throwing him under the bus about the alleged cheating. He said that was embarrassing. He's a moron, but it doesn't matter. That's what he said. It doesn't matter that he said that. It doesn't matter. He said, I'm going to rule the world, he said. And I wrote megalomaniac at the bottom because that's what it felt like. I'm going to rule the world. Delusion. That's what he's setting out to do. He said I used him. Talk about Donald Trump. Nothing will go according to their plans. He's talking about that the administration, their administration that he's supposed to be a part of. Nothing will go according to their plans. He wants to take everything over. It's going to be a disaster. He is dangerous and determined to ruin a lot of things for no particular reason other than it's fun. Allegedly. What I've been telling you guys, that this is a game to him. This is he wants to feel powerful. This is about his daddy issues, allegedly. And I say that without judgment, but that's what it is. This is all about him. That's why, Donald Trump is not important in this situation. He's a small fry. I know some of you guys are looking at things and like, oh, he's signing this on his first day. He's going to be a dictator and all that stuff. I'm looking at this full scale. He will be stopped a lot. It will be, I said it will be difficult for him. I have been pulling. This will fall apart. And I think part of it is because of this man. When you put, it's like it's like putting, you know, those projects that we used to do in school and everyone would just do the volcano. It's like that when you pour the stuff in and it, whew, that's what this, he's the stuff. He's the lava. That slow moving destruction for them. Oh, I'm going to destroy every system, I heard. And then I asked, why did he say I don't care? Oh, I said, do you know you're being investigated by other countries? He said, I don't care. Dangerous human being. I'll look at his outcome. We already know Donald's. He'll be stopped though. I saw a vision of him being arrested, and you know, this is a lot. You know, he's has delusions of grandeur and a lot of mental health stuff. But he has money and power, and so when you have those two combinations, you could act out whatever you need to act out. Trauma, bad relationship with his dad. That's why he has all those kids. You know, he's man. Jeez Louise. Did I not grab my duck? I'm going to, where's my, did it fall? I could have sworn I grabbed it. Alright, that's alright. I'll just use this one. Let's look at that limo ride first. What time is it? Okay, I got time. Let's look at the limo ride. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. I know something happened there. I could feel it in the energy. Oh yeah. I'm going to look at that really quick. And then I'll look at Joe and Kamala together. See what they may be left behind, I guess. I heard booby traps. That's what I heard. First thing that came out is a 9 of Swords. Interesting. All right. What happened in the limo ride between Trump and Biden? What happened there? King of Swords. That is Biden. I just heard facing a threat. What happened? Facing a threat. What happened between Biden and Trump in the limo ride? It was tense. It was tense. I could feel as I'm... My ears are ringing. Look what's on the bottom. I know what you did. The Hermit. The card of treason. The card of bad deeds being done. Next to the King of Swords. That's the card I've labeled as treason because that's what it represents as well. Ooh. Let me look on the back. Temperance. I told him I'm better than you. The Moon. Look. I know what you did. There's major cards here. That's coming up. And people will find out. Ace of Wands. This is the energy. The World. You will not get what you want. World in reverse. Because we will stop you. Two of Cups, Kamala and Joe. Their relationship with allies. Their international relationships. I know you guys are saying, but they don't have power. They have pull. They have built relationships. They have built relationships through diplomacy, through care. Presidents and vice presidents have pull, even when they're ex. And I will watch you fall apart. It will be my satisfaction. I did what I had to do to stop you. You'll be left out in the cold. 6 of Cups in reverse. 6 of Cups in reverse. Let's look at that. Yep, that's what I was feeling. Feeling of stagnation. I will stop you. Okay? Not learning from the past. You haven't learned. Have you? It was like a father scolding their child. I know better than you. I'm better than you. That's deep. And he might not have said that directly. He may have. because you know when he goes, he's witty. That's the Scorpio energy. And when we rip you, when we go in with our words, we go in. You haven't learned from your past. You haven't learned, have you? That's why he wanted to ride with him. 5 of Swords in reverse. You will not win this. You thought you could win at all costs. The King of Swords is on top of here. Empress in reverse. And I'll show you. They said, show them the front. 9 of Swords. I'll do this quick. 9 of Swords, King of Swords, the Hermit. Treason. Temperance. The Ace of Wands. The Moon. Ace of Wands. You will be exposed. This thing you did in the darkness, you'll be exposed. The news will come out. Donald Trump doesn't believe him. The World in reverse. You will not get what you want. Because the 2 of Cups, I will stop you. We will stop you. 9 of Cups. 6 of Cups in reverse. 5 of Swords in reverse. The Empress in reverse. And on top, we have, this is the energy President Biden was sitting in, the Chariot. We have control. He may not have said this directly, but that's the energy he was giving off. Strength. We are strong. We can overcome. You, the Emperor, upright. King of Wands. What did I say? Even though Wands is about fire, courageous. Maybe this was his leap. This is his strike, but I don't know. They left something. They left something behind. We'll see what, but this is what he was sitting in. Death. Like his final transformation with the King of Wands there. The Ace of Swords. We will expose you. The truth will come out about you. And I could hear him speaking in this low voice and pointing his finger at him. And it feels like I see Donald red-faced and unable to speak. He couldn't speak. The Lovers. We made our decision about you. The Hierophant. On top of, next to the Hermit. You will not destroy our government. We won't let you. We will defend our government. 7 of Wands. Remember that? Boom! That's what they left behind. That thing I saw Kamala doing. We will protect against you. We have fortified. Judgment. You will be judged. Your karma will come. He warned him. You will pay the price. That was the conversation. That was the conversation. There's one more card. Hold on. It's telling me to pull. That was the conversation. The Tower in reverse. They did offer him something. I promise you. They offered him a deal that he didn't take. And he talked to him about it. You refuse to change. You refuse to accept what will come to you. He refused it. It showed up over and over and over. His refusal. Whatever the deal was that he didn't want. So that's what he said. That's what he said. That is the energy. And Donald Trump, I just see him red. He wasn't speaking. It feels like he was denying those words and the energy in it. The energy that President Biden was giving off was, don't F with me. That it felt his Donald Trump's energy in that felt surprised that because this is not a side he saw. There's the bells that he witnessed before of President Biden. Yeah. So I'm gonna do Joe and Kamala together. So one will be Kamala and one line will be Joe. I have to grab another deck because I don't know what I did with. It's like seemingly missing. I think I didn't grab it, but I don't see it on my shelf. I'm gonna grab it because I want to use two different decks for them. I guess I wasn't meant to use that other deck. It seems to have disappeared into the ether. My guides do that sometimes. They hide things. Oh, my ghost. My ghost, but that's a whole other story I'll tell you guys one day. Hold on one second. Okay. I'm back. I did see it it was on my shelf. Just didn't grab it. All right. Let's look at what did they leave behind? Let's see. What was it? I don't know if that's the right question. Let's see what comes out. What did they leave behind? Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords. Oh, swords in his back. Okay. He said many distractions with a smile. And she just said, you'll see. And the Ten of Swords came out first. Interesting. Okay. All right. Eight of Cups. 8 cups. And the Eight of Cups is like, well, moving on. And the Ten of Swords is there. What did they leave behind for Donald Trump? He said many things. What did he leave behind? This wants to come out. Oh, protections. And the Devil is there. What did I say, guys? Boom! That thing in the ground, and the ground is shaking. For fortifying protections. Interesting. Seven of Wands. That, you see, she's holding the wand and about to slam it into the ground. And the Devil's here. We know what that energy is. Interesting. What did they leave behind? Oh my goodness, all these cards. Page of Swords, information. Intelligence with someone. Guys. Ugh. Okay, Judgment came out. This is crazy right here. This is Joe Biden. Six of Swords. Something healing, something, it's a transition into something better. Moving into calmer waters. Something that's going to make that happen, perhaps. I'll put it here. Something about overseas. Two of Wands. Implementing something. Starting something. So interesting. So interesting. So very interesting. It told me to put it here. Nope, it said here. This is Joe Biden, guys, okay? We'll see if Kamala gets similar cards. That'll be interesting. Tell me one more. Something that's going to leave Donald Trump bankrupt and left out in the cold. Isolated. Victimized. Okay. It's specifically not saying. It's reading energy. Look, exposure. The sun is here. That sun coming through the clouds that I saw from my spirit guides. All right. It's not saying specifically because I'm getting a sense that I'm not allowed to know. And that's okay, but the energy is here. Ten of Swords, betrayal, disappointment. With the Five of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. Something may make him leave. Something they left behind that could possibly make him walk away. Something protective with the Seven of Wands. That boom, shaking everything. Something that will make us go into calmer water, perhaps. Healing. Okay. And the Devil is here. Judgment on top of the Devil. He told him, you will pay the price. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Something about overseas here. Something related to overseas they left behind. I don't know. It's like what I heard was it's out of his hands into someone else's. Someone bigger than him. This is bigger than us. This is global. Judgment, we know. The sun, exposure, and the information. Page of Swords, the intelligence. Whatever they left behind is not good. For Donald. Okay, we'll see. All right. Let's see Kamala, what her energy can tell me. What did they leave behind, Kamala? What did you leave behind? 3 of Swords. Interesting. Something that will be, disappointing for him. 3 of Swords. And then here we have sorry, my dog. 3 of Swords. Okay. I'm just gonna put these on top of his. This is Kamala, guys, okay? What did they leave behind? Wow, okay. It's the same cards. Oh, wow. 7 of Swords. Thievery, strategy, Queen of Swords. The truth. What did they leave behind? Perhaps someone on the inside. 8 of Cups. Same energy. Something that made me can walk away. 4 of Swords. Something that may make people reevaluate things, or even him. I don't think he's well versed in reevaluation. This is trickery. They're playing their own game there. That feels heavy. This feels, even though it's a minor card, it feels like something important. This has come up often in there. Let's delete that. Ace of Wands is there again on the top. Something that will make things transform. Death. Something. I keep hearing information. It feels like he is looking at it. It feels like they're both looking at it in a way where they can't tell me the energy specifically or explicitly. But it feels like they're like showing me more of an outcome of whatever they left behind. Interesting. 10 of Swords. How? This is what I'm telling you guys. You have to be in your faith and in your intuition. The 10 of Swords is here. What they left behind. This is the 10 of Swords here. And her and Kamala's energy. This is Joe down here, and this is Kamala. Those swords in his back, Donald Trump. Those swords in his back. Something that will lead to victory. So let me put it here. The Chariot. Something that would lead to goals being met. That would lead to oh man, this is crazy. And I'm thinking about his other reading that I did in the last video about him falling out of his chariot. He's telling me to put it up here. The Four of Wands, and you guys know what? I'm going to show you. The Four of Wands came out here, and I was going to pull it on Joe's, but I didn't. But I'll show you. Where's that deck? Why does the deck keep going missing? Oh, it's down here. Look, it's on the top. And my guys was like, that's his card, but I just didn't pull it because there was nowhere to put it. But look. Four of Wands here and the Four of Wands there. I'll pull it. Listen. Right here. Interesting. And the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords. How could they have the same cards? How could they have the same cards? The same energy. Four of Wands. Something that will lead to celebration. Something that will lead to balance. Something that will lead to a solid foundation. And I'm saying, guys, what they left behind, what protections did they leave behind? I heard booby traps. And Biden told me many distractions. And Kamala just said, you'll see. Last card, Nine of Pentacles. Some sort of help. I view this card always as help. And it's here. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Ace of Swords is there. Yeah. Two of Wands is there too. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. That's what they left behind. Tennis, guys, they have the same exact cards, okay? So they did something together. Whatever the back to the drawing board was, they put things in place. Whatever that new information, whatever they did so much work to gather so much info, and now they've handed it off to someone even bigger, it feels like. Okay? Very serious. They have the same energy. Something protective, protections, information. Okay, things that will trip him up. He's gonna have some trouble. You know, he won't last, and it won't be a long while. I'm hearing. The same exact cards for the most part, but they won't tell me what. But you see the energy, guys. Okay. Who am I looking at? Let's do Mark Rutte. I got time. I'll do Mark Rutte. I'll look at maybe Jack Smith. Margarita is like, I don't want to talk to you, but we'll see. Let's see his current energy, his actions and energy, what he's up to. Mark Rutte. And as an extension of NATO, remember, guys, okay? What are you doing over there? Oh. Okay. Six of Cups comes up often. Interesting. card. Page of Wands. Knight of Cups. Six of Cups, Knight of Cups. Interesting. Queen. Nope. Does that say Princess? Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Two of Wands. I feel like they put that in their hands. They put whatever they did, they put it in his hands. That's what it feels like. I could be wrong, but that's what I don't think I'm wrong. Whatever the blah, 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 blah was. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. Put it in their hands. Interesting. Knight of Wands. There's a lot of knights here. Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. He's the one. NATO, I feel, is rushing in with whatever they left behind. Wow. Interesting. The Magician. We have everything we need. My goodness. Card of Power. Having power, being given power. It feels like they were souped up in some way. Souped up meaning like we have what we need. Queen of Pentacles. A lot of pentacles. A lot of pentacles. Very interesting. So let me put it here. Page of Cups, Mark Rutte. That's what I labeled him as. And he showed up here as I'm doing his reading. Page of Cups. Doing things in a new creative way. Implementing things differently. All these knights here. Three different elements of knights. Wow. That's power. Seven of Swords. Same kind of energy. Working strategically. Working covertly. Queen of Cups. Interesting. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. King of Wands. I mean, they have everything. Mark Rutte and NATO. They have a whole board. This is like a chessboard to me. King, Queen, King of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. All these knights is literally a chessboard. That is so fascinating. It's a chessboard. It's a chessboard, guys. Page of Wands on the front. Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords. Ending of despair. Queen of Swords. all these what is it called? Court cards. All right. Something heavy is happening. The Chariot. Something heavy is happening. The card of war, the Chariot of battle, and the Six of Wands. Something is happening here where, and the Devil is here. I knew it was here. And it told me to put it there. Okay. I knew it was there. I was like, where's the Devil? When is it coming? I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, and they said don't pull anymore. Okay, oop. All right. Yeah, I mean, Mark Rutte and NATO seems to be preparing for something. There are all these court cards, okay? And the energy of the cards, what they mean, the Queen of Cups and the, emotional stability and compassion, and the Queen of Pentacles, a steadfast, I'm hearing like money. I'm hearing preparing. This is a chessboard. Most of these are court cards. Like chess. Okay. Wow. Wow. Let me see. The Magician is power. I feel like there's power. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. Look, okay, so what I heard was, when I touched this card, the Magician here, I heard war, okay? And the Seven of Swords is here, and the Seven of Swords is about deception. And I asked, how is the Magician related? Because I've never really thought of it in that concept. I said, how is the Magician related to war? And this is the answer I received. A magician can be related to war through the concept of military deception. And look, the Seven of Swords, it told me to put the Seven of Swords next to the Magician, where skilled illusionists like Jasper Mascaline, sorry if I butchered his name, use their mastery of misdirection and camouflage techniques to trick enemy forces during World War II, creating fake military installations and troop movements to confuse the enemy and gain strategic advantages, essentially applying their magic to the battlefield. This is what I'm saying. They call him the War Magician. Crazy. They told me to put this card, the card of deception, next to the Magician. And the War Magician came up about military deception. That is insane how this is what I'm saying is big. Allegedly, okay? But this is what I'm saying. This feels like a chessboard with all these court cards. The Devil here is next to the Ten of Swords. We know what the Devil is. We know what the Ten of Swords is. Disappointment. Swords in your back, and the Devil, they told me to put it right there. All these court cards, all these knights. Okay? I feel like the knights represent maybe troops, perhaps. But this is, I knew this was significant. I knew this was important. I'm going to read it one more time. Okay, guys? A magician can be related to war through the concept of military deception, where skilled illusionists like Jasper M. use their mastery of misdirection and camouflage techniques to trick enemy forces during World War II, creating fake military installations and troop movements to confuse the enemy and gain strategic advantages, essentially applying their magic to the battlefield. So there you have it. If you've been watching NATO, you've been seeing things about military operations and preparing and all that stuff. Okay? And this right here drew me in. These two cards. The card of deception and the card of illusion. NATO's preparing for something. We know that. Very interesting that I was shown that. Very interesting. That was Mark Rutte, guys. Okay? And hence, and NATO. I'm not going to do any more. Okay? Because it's almost 2 hours. And I want to leave. I'm not going to do... I'll do Jack Smith maybe next time. But I think we got enough of where his mind is and what's going on there. Okay? I think this was really good. Energy is shifted. Playbook is burned. We're past process. I've really felt that. I'm going to pull a healing energy card. It's telling me to pull 2 for some reason, so I will do 2. Excuse me. Attention. Interesting, that came up again. Open to the universe. All right, let's do attention first. This is what the energy looks like for attention. And I will read the message. Let me get my... It says, I am attentive to all that manifests within me. When creativity rises within me, I'm sorry, not creativity, when negative, this is the same message we got before. When negativity arises within me, I transform it into light, love, and hope. My love for others is unconditional. I forgive. My desire to improve is constant. I am firm, brave, and hardworking. Okay? Turning negativity into light. You guys can read that. You can pause it if you need to. Okay? Next message is open to the universe. This is what the energy looks like. Okay. It says, I am discovering my worth and my abilities. I have confidence in my value and my potential. I reclaim my inner power. I reclaim my inner power. I accept and love myself completely. I am open to the divine fight. Divine fight. Divine light of the universe. Okay. Here's the message. Hold on. Wait. There, it won't focus. Okay. So those are your messages, okay, guys? That was interesting, that reading. Like I said, nothing is what it seems. You have to hold on to what your intuition tells you and your gut. But most importantly, this time, this moment that we find ourselves in, remember to breathe through the emotions that you are experiencing. Unplug if you have to take care of yourself. Yes, it's important to be informed. I'm not telling you to ignore the news, but it seems like the smallest thing can make some of you feel like you're losing control. Okay, so unplug and just do something that can help you find solutions to what you're struggling with. I can't tell you how to feel or how to react, but I can encourage you to, if you feel like you don't have any control, then you could work in your community, volunteer somewhere. Because yes, the vulnerable are, they are in the most danger. So if you feel like you have no control, then there are things you can do to help and to give you a sense of control. Okay. I will see you guys again pretty soon. Today's Tuesday. Maybe Friday? Probably Friday. Okay. So take care of yourselves. All right. I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.